Hello, world. My name's Dallas Freeman, and I believe I have put a big crack in the Voynich Manuscript. If you don't know what it is, it's a mystery document that has been around, allegedly, at least the vellum on which it's written, since the early 1400s. Not much is known about it. About the first 100 pages are just plants and really ambiguous writing, and there are a couple clues in there, but it's pretty much just a very strange document. Okay, this is the image one here. Excuse me. I've selected this because just to illustrate this blatantly obvious Fibonacci spiral here. This has quite a bit to do with the content following, but again, this is really strange. Now, after reading, or rather looking at the first 100 pages or so, you get this, and this is the first unique page. Now, here it kind of illustrates how you feel from looking at these pages. You're just all twisted around. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no color. None of this makes sense yet, right? So what we need to do is find a starting point. And that's what I did over here. Okay. If you don't understand something, find the closest thing to your understanding and at least try that as a starting point. So, what do we have here? All right, we have Mr. Sun, right? That's a sun. It's got to be a sun. And there's a guy in there, and he's very confused. He doesn't know what the heck's going on. Asymmetrical. And you notice the art here, it's actually pretty crude. It looks kind of like a child did it almost. So what do we do from the start? Okay, we count the rays to find patterns, right? So we count the rays, and there are 12. Okay, so what do we know about the sun and 12? Well, time, right? So perhaps this pertains to time. Okay, so how does that fit into anything? Well, got to look for more clues here. So we have stars, 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 stars. Oh, star, star, star. So we have 12, and then we have 3, which leaves 9 remaining. So what do we know about 12 and 3? Oh, this is a year, right? And there's less light here because that's winter time, right? Okay, now things are starting to make sense. So Mr. Sun Eye here is going to peek up at this little marking here. You see that? See that guy? That is an annum. That is a year marker. So we could say that right here is right about December 25th, right? Because that's the first month of winter here, and then the new year starts here. So we have a point of reference now. Moving along. Okay, now this page is, well, what the heck's going on over here? We have 8-sided star in the middle, right? And then we have 12 images containing the moon, right? That's a moon. It's got to be a moon. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, so none of this makes sense yet, but you want to look at the colors and the correlation. What do we have here? Okay, so matching colors. Now, coincidentally, this is the only place in the manuscript that you will find illuminated letters. Okay, all the rest of the time they're in the dark, right? So we have Mr. Sun. And what does the sun do? The sun sheds light on things, and that's really what we want to do with this script, right? We want to shed light on it. We want to see what the heck's under here. And we know that the sun sheds light on the moon, right? Great. So that gives an indication that perhaps we can illuminate the text. But how? How? Well, this doesn't make any sense yet, but it's going to in short order. Okay, here we have, now I spent a long time on this. seems very ambiguous, and it kind of is. What we're observing here is Doppler blue shift. You can see here in the, see this organic looking guy here? Okay, that's the Earth, right? And here is Mr. Sun, and there's Mr. Sun, and here's Mr. Sun. The thing is, as the Sun moves away from an observer, you get the red, right? And you're going to find out in this book that red is bad. So up here we have a neutral point where you're not getting any exceptional wavelength. And over here, you get the blues, right? Okay, so moving on. Here we have another illustration. It's really strange. But we do have green, and we're going to call this the terrestrial color. Terrestrial color. This is, again, Earth. See, it's divided up into quadrants, right? Quatrains, perhaps? So it's divided up into quadrants. And this is going to be the neutral point. You will see here, right there. Okay, this is a lot of fun. It's a good indicator. So here's the sun coming back, right? And remember that blue shift from the radiation, the observable radiation down here, right? Okay, so here we have Mr. Sun, and what he's doing is forming that font. And you can see the color is being stripped away here. So what's going on here? Well, we're going to illuminate this text. Yeah? Sounds good. Okay, what is going on in this image? Who knows? I think I know. Again, this is just more illustration of this Doppler blue shift. We have Ms. Moon down here, and again, pay attention to the artwork here, okay? They really don't know what's going on. They're kind of startled, clearly, you know, you, the earthly observer. Well, here the moon is down, and it's we have shadow on it, right? And up here we have big Mr. Sun, and fewer stars are visible when the sun's out, right? Right. So here, now, Miss Moon is out, and the sun is sitting down here thinking, why is Miss Moon illuminated here? Why? Now you see more stars because it's nighttime, right? So, what's going on over here? You have to pay attention to the corona here. All right, again, we're searching for light, right? So where's the light? If this is the moon, it's going to be, if you're looking at it like this, it's going to be on the reverse, right? So the seven sisters and Big Brother are on the reverse. All of our further away stars are adding up and contributing to this light. I'm no astronomer. I don't know what these are. They're just nearer Earth stars. They're bright. Essentially, what this thing is trying to say is that you need a very bright moon to read this book. It's entirely Tolkien-esque. The truth of the matter is, you see this text? See that stuff there? See how some of it's darker, right? Part of it was written in iron-based ink. And as the ink oxidizes, you see, it's turning reddish. So what we want to do is get a very bright moon so that we can read this book. Once you shine the moon on this text, all of the superfluous garbage goes bye-bye, right? So this is how we isolate the characters. Let's go up here. Have a real fun time. Oh. Okay, this is explaining why. The contributing factors are spiraling in 8 ways to illuminate the moon. Very nice, right? This, again, is just dividing that up. It's, again, here's moon in the center, and these are the contributing light forms, okay? And now you notice a shift in the artwork. It's much more symmetrical now. Yeah, and the eyes are open, but the moon's still confused, understandably, because this is you now, right? You see the letters, you see the text, you see the stuff that's actually there that, you should be seeing, but you certainly can't make any sense of it, and you sure don't know why. So, here's why. This is an eye. Whoever wrote this knew. They knew about the structure of an eye. This is a double meaning here. Here you have the optic nerve, and it's also illuminated. You have the light hitting it. And here you have a really crude and staggered kind of drawings. What you'll notice is that there's no red, right? So what we have are the grays, the greens, and the blues. Well, that's cool. I like that. Right? Right. Now this is kind of an exploded diagram of just what's going on. Here we are. Okay, so we have gray, blue, and green, right? From the other page? Sure. And this is showing the light hitting your eye. No red, please. Where's Bill Nye? All right. Or rather, no, it was Ben Stein, rather. Yes. Okay, this, again, an exploded diagram. This is the lens of the eye, right? Yeah. And it's trapping all this light in here. That's wonderful. It's as though the scales had fallen from your eyes. And over here, we now have perfect, symmetrical, resolute unity. Look at those eyes. Now you know what's going on, right? Great. Because that's what we're here to figure out. Okay. Enter the nymphs. Hello, nymphs. Hello. All right. What you'll notice with the nymphs is that they are pointing different directions, which looks bad because nature loves a square. The language of nature is the spiral. So, and they're also covered. We don't want anything to remain covered, do we? We want to figure out what's in this thing. So, we want it to be free. What is going on here is I'm going to refer back to this image, this guy right here. Super fun. Okay, this fellow is telling you the phases of the moon, times of year, in which appropriate moonlight will be available to actually read this book. You got to read it in the moon. This is straight out of Tolkien. It's straight out of Lord of the Rings. It's absolutely mind-blowing. I cannot imagine who wrote this. Because even if in the early 1900s, this information was not available, or at least that we know of. Right? Okay, so under Pisces, I believe, now there's more of this. I'm not entirely here yet. I believe this has a double meaning. This also has indications of a cipher. Later on, the cipher will be revealed, and this may indicate ways in which to turn it, and that may give some significance to the marks. You will also notice that some of the breasts on the nymphs here are in this dark permanent marking. So there may be some significance to that. Again, I can't tell because, I'm not looking at this in moonlight. I think you might be able to use a synthetic moon lamp to view this, but, that's not something I understand. Okay, here we have Sagittarius. This is very important. This is our first of the year guy. And here's the end of the year, right? Because Sagittarius begins at the end of the year and begins the new year. So we have Sagittarius. And again, the nymphs are covered. We don't want them covered. Now, you remember on that sun dial back on the page over there, that annum marker that the old sun was looking up at? Here we have Sagittarius I meeting said marking. So this is the new year, right? And now we have great illumination on the fineries and coverings of these nymphs. But we don't want that. We want disambiguity. We want to figure out what's in this book, right? So we have Sagittarius now at the light of the beginning of the year. He's actually sucking away all of this light, or rather, not light, but thermal, all the red out of the spectrum, if you will. So that's what's going on here. And they're marching in procession. And now, here we have, dun, da, 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 now the nymphs are becoming clear. They're coming out of their coverings and they're walking in the same direction in fantastic, wonderful procession. Yeah? Yeah. And here, Gemini, same thing. Nymphs are in great shape now, and they're illuminated. They look great. Super fun. So here, Leo. Leo has a touch of red. So this may be saying that under Leo, it may not be optimal conditions to view this. All of these have a little, some unique markings. Like one of the nymphs is wearing a crown in one of the frames. So again, that could be related to the cipher going on later. And then here, of course, we have Aquarius. Again, looks like a good time to be viewing this fellow. Okay, now what we've what we establish here is that the nymphs are light, right? So this is the eye, and the nymphs are now coming in. No red. We want blue shift, right? So that's what's going on here. Blue shift, blue shift, blue shift within the eye. I'm no biologist by any means, but Libra again. Pretty good. This one, I'm not sure what this is. Draco, maybe? I mean, it looks like it can't be Scorpio. That's just terrible. Very poor interpretation of Scorpio there, but it looks really illuminated. It looks really good. So that might be a good time of year to read the book. Yeah, and our old friend Sagittarius, again, looking nice. So all of these are going through the eye, and they're pooling, turning blue. We are turning our golden faces to the sun, praising our leaders, getting in tune. Yeah? And here we go. Very nice, very nice. Again, blue shift occurring in the eye. I'm not going to explain it. I don't fully understand it. Look it up. It's been recorded by people much more informed than I. That's fun. All right, again, receptors, and it is theorized that because blue shift shouldn't actually be able to happen in, you shouldn't be able to see anything, any color rather, in moonlight, but you can through a bypassing of and that's what's going on, is a bypassing and kind of a sympathetic borrowing. Again, more. Yeah. And you will note this nymph here being consumed by Pisces. That's fun. That's enjoyable. I like that a lot. And more nymphs. Blue shift taking place. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Two becoming one. There we go. All right, yeah, more of this fun stuff going on here. Up here, you're going to see the first of what people have interpreted as pharmaceutical jars, like mortars, are stored like pill bottles, but old school. I don't think that's what this is. I'll get to that in a little bit. This again, reaching through the are now illuminated 8 there. It's funny how you'll find this symbol stained glass windows in cathedrals and capitol buildings everywhere. It's almost as if someone already knew all this, but has been keeping it a secret. So anyway, now more of this taking place, the bridging of the gaps and such. Blue shift occurring, blue shift occurring. Oh, those look nice, don't they? I think those look great. I thought this was the belly of a snake at first. Kind of looks like it, right? Or rather, the exterior, not the belly, but, well, it could be the belly. There's scales on there too, right? But what's going on is just, this is showing how this is taking place now all across the eye, okay? So that's going on there. Lovely. And blue, blue. Blue, blue, blue. Blue is good. So essentially what this is getting at is that viewing this book in moonlight will make it legible. And you can see with the naked eye what's going on here. You can see where the phony ink here, the false letters are oxidizing, the colors shifting. Okay, so we have made it to the cipher. All right, so what this is saying now is, all right, smart guy, fine. You made it this far. You see the words, but you can't make any sense of them, can you? No, of course you can't. No, you certainly can't. Again, all turned back against each other. You got to be able to put them together, right? Yeah. And over here we have what is a really shamefully obvious 4-ringed cipher. And, oh, hello, brainwaves. Isn't it so funny that this blue shift is observable in the brain? Interesting. It almost makes you think of the Lotus sermon, doesn't it? So here we have 4. Okay, these are the rings of the cipher. All right, so now you got all your information put together, shoved in the cipher, and you got to make sense of it. Enter the brain. So now light has gone through the eyes, and the optic nerve is being interpreted by the brain. This is also how to make sense of the ciphered material. Yeah? And you will see over here distortions. It's as if a parallel universe. It's close to truth, but it surely is not truth. Here, there, everywhere. Lots of fun. So it's really hard to make sense of where any of this is going. You will see it's being projected out here. Projections from the central system. And there's 13 here. 7 down here with three illuminated, 3 sections. Over here you have, this has been seen on this pattern's been seen on the diagram earlier. You can see it's really faint, but it looks like a gear here. And this was seen before in the explanation of the light hitting the moon. And over here we have another shadow, 8 now, but no illumination. And this is also, a double meaning of how the eye interprets light as kind of acts like a cipher. So here we are. Plants? So that's where I'm at. Obviously, I can't make any more sense of this without actually getting my hands on the thing, and that's probably not going to happen. So we have these nerve looking things, and isn't it so funny how nerves look like roots, look like tree branches, look like fingers, and how photosynthesis works, and how that kind of looks like the light that we've already seen in photosynthesis too, right? So these are various patterns of interpretation and growth. I'm seeing this too in the Egyptian hieroglyphs. And these roots, what could this mean? It could mean anything. It could say be offering a way to interpret the growth of plants, possibly predict them. It could be saying that people being born under certain zodiac signs actually see the world differently because of the available light conditions in their formative first year, or perhaps even in gestation. Or it could mean something else. So, but I'm not a cryptographer, so I guess the ball now is probably going to be in Yale's court as far as, deciding if they're going to allow somebody to do this. I have my own theory of what's going on here, and I'm not going to discuss this. But hey, food for thought. I may be wrong. I may be completely mad. It's so easy to let the mind run away in this book. But there is just this element of truth to it that really keeps drawing you back. Interesting stuff. So that is essentially it. For now. Drink up, dreamers. Figure this out. I imagine you could probably, using software, you could kind of figure out how to omit the improper text. But there again, the problem is that these images are taken, you can see the page isn't sitting flat. So that could prove very difficult. There could be some ambiguity in the visible characters there. So someone's gonna have to go open this thing and hope, and maybe turn all the lights off in the place, and open up moonlight, a nocturnal they use for nocturnal animals and such, and take a step forward to the truth, because that is what will set you free. Anyway, feedback would be wonderful on this. I don't think I'm wrong, but I could be. Certainly misguided. So tell me what you think, and thank you.